This is another video that basically came about from the discussion on the video on more details on base camps. One of the things was brought up about pissed off civilians telling the local security forces, the invaders, whatever you want to call them, the location of the base camp. One of the ways you get around that is good interactions with the civilians. There's no real guidance that's out there. I know Mao Zedong said that the civilian population is the ocean that the fish, which is the guerillas, swims in. They are completely dependent on them, the water, to support them and keep them hidden from their enemies. So basically I have here some ideas on keeping in mind for militia's interactions with civilians. You don't want to come in there like you're a Viking raiding party. You don't want to steal from civilians. I seriously do not recommend that, because that'll be a quick way to get them to turn against you. You don't want to treat them poorly. You don't want to come in there and treat all the women as sex objects, you know, asking the ladies, hey, how much for an hour? I haven't been with a woman in weeks. You know, none of that stuff. So, treat them kindly. Never steal from civilians. Never attack them. So don't attack a town unless there's a very, very good reason for it. And you can back it up with evidence as to why you have to do it. And always administer fair justice. Now, treat them kindly. Plain and simple, you know, treat them respectfully. The sir, ma'am stuff, okay? You want to be somewhat sociable, okay? You don't want to give away too much information, but you want to be kind. You want to show them your human side, that you're there for them. One thing I brought up is, let's say the civilians are on a farm. They need help. Well, at harvest time, you know, send a couple people to help out. The farmer has a building that has a leaky roof on it, needs it repaired, and he can't do it himself. Well, give him a hand. You know, help out in any way you can, as long as it does not degrade your capabilities, does not keep you from performing your mission. Never steal from civilians. Always trade. Make it fair trades. Don't try to, you know, cheat them out of stuff. If he'll trade you a sack of potatoes for $20, well, give him $20. I know you may be able to get them for $5 in the store, but, you know, you're a guerrilla. You're not going to be walking into the local China Mart getting that $5 sack of potatoes. If he wants $20, you got $20, give it to him. Now, money, I'll just say this, you get it off the dead enemy, okay? So, you ambush your enemy, gather up any money they have and turn it into the unit so that they can use it for purchasing supplies. And that's one of the things they'll use for trading with civilians. Never attack civilians. Never attack towns. Now, the exception to that might be you heard about a particular farmer who's been giving information to the enemy. He knows what he's doing. He's doing it outright to deliberately try to hurt you. Well, in that case, you know, administer fair justice. Okay, if he's in that town, or in that house, and he's got a family, but only he's the one giving the information, don't burn down the house with the entire family inside. Arrest them during the night. Present your evidence to the people, to the area, and then administer fair justice. It could be a bullet to the head, it could be hanging or whatever. But at that same case, if any of your people mistreat civilians, they're caught stealing, they're caught, you know, raping the local civilian population, you need to administer justice against your own people. I think in the case of stealing, Well, what they should do is some type of restitution to the people that they stole from. If it's rape, my personal feelings are, let the person that was raped decide what should happen. Okay, if they figure that castration should be performed, all right, give the person a knife and tell them, all right, you perform it. If the victim's family determines that the person should be killed, okay, here's a pistol, you shoot them. Make them have to administer the justice. If they want a particular thing done, they should be the ones to do it. If they don't have the heart to do it, well then ask them what should be done, because we're not going to do it for you. Exception would probably be, you have, let's say, 3 or 4 bad apples. You have a fire team that went out. They came across a farmhouse. They killed everyone inside. They raped the women and kids. And then they took all the food and they brought it back, said they traded for it. Well, you find out what happened. You get that fire team together. You take them out to where that farmhouse was located at. And I think you should line those guys up against a wall and put a bullet in each one of them. Or find the nearest tree and string them up. And you need to leave, some type of indication as to what happened. Spray paint on the wall what they did, or leave signs hanging around their necks showing what they did. But overall, as guerrillas, when it comes to civilian interactions, basically be good Christians. Even if you're an atheist and stuff, you have an idea of what Christian kindness is, Christian mercy is. Use it. Okay, you want the civilians on your side, because they are a source of supplies. They are a source of intelligence. They're the ones that can help you out. In a lot of the research I've done on partisans and freedom fighters over the years, you find out that a lot of the food they get was given to them by civilians, and it's only done, if you're kind to them. If they trust you, they believe in what you're doing. If you mistreat them, they don't trust you, they're not going to help you out. They're not going to give you supplies. They're not going to give you warnings. So, treat the civilians fairly. Plain and simple. Don't come in there acting like you're a barbarian. Don't come in there acting like you're a military dictator. You're the duke in charge of his own personal little fiefdom, and the civilians are your serfs. No imperial attitudes, okay? Treat them kindly. And that will help you with your concealment of your base camps and of your movements. Now, for all my militia brothers, always remember, essayons.